Good morning, everybody. So this morning I'm going to read out of Luke chapter 7, verses 36 through 39. Now one of the Pharisees was requesting him to dine with him, and he entered the Pharisee's house and reclined at the table. And there was a woman in the city who was a sinner, and when she learned that he was reclining at the table in the Pharisee's house, she brought an alabaster vial of perfume. And standing behind him at his feet, weeping, she began to wet his feet with her tears, and kept wiping them with the hair of her head, and kissing his feet, and anointing them with the perfume. Now when the Pharisees who had invited him saw this, he said to himself, "If this man were a prophet, he would know who and what sort of person this woman is, who is touching him, that she is a sinner." So, Pharisee wanted to know, I guess, more about Jesus. And this, they're already, the Pharisees have already gotten it all wrong when it comes to Jesus already. They're trying to figure out who Jesus is. And they can't believe, I guess they can't believe he's righteous because, he's been seen with tax collectors, bad sinners, as the Pharisees call these folks of their communities. So they don't see him as, I guess, following God, because he's not entertaining, but he's sharing things with those that the Pharisees look down upon. And so, one of the Pharisees asked Jesus to come dine with them, and Jesus does. And there was a woman who found out, and so she came and starting to clean his feet with her tears, and anointing his feet with perfume, using her hair to do all this with. And the Pharisee is like, if he is a prophet, he would know that this woman's a sinner. And I don't know what kind of sinner she was. It doesn't really explain if she was, an adulteress, or prostitute by trade. It doesn't really, in this passage, it doesn't say, it just identifies her as being a sinner. So the only thing I can think of during this time that a woman would be considered a sinner is if she was a prostitute or if she was a known adulteress. But a known adulteress usually got stoned to death. But here's the ironic thing about it, about this whole little story right here. The Pharisee, the man of God, who studies the law, who studies God's ways, had no clue who Jesus Christ was. And this poor woman, this poor wretched woman, knew exactly who he was, and anointed his feet, cleaned his feet with her hair, constantly crying over him. And my guess is that she knew that Christ was the Messiah. She knew that he was there to save her. And she was truly repentant of the sins that she did. But it also makes me wonder, did she somehow know that he was going to die for her? And if that was also part of the weeping and the anointing of the feet with the perfume. Kind of makes me wonder. But all that to say is that you have a woman who apparently, from the Pharisee standpoint, is the lowest of the low in the community. Giving Jesus Christ the glory and respect and the love from her heart. And then you got the Pharisee, the learned man of God, saying, well, if he was a prophet, he would know that she's a sinner and wouldn't have anything to do with her. You know, hard as a rock, stone cold, no compassion, nothing. So, anyways, I don't know. It's just kind of a story that kind of, to me, shows how we need to be careful. We cannot be too pious of ourselves, of our own righteousness, and just, I don't know, condemn somebody so earnestly, so flagrantly, and to be where we don't have compassion and don't see people who what we all really are, which is sinners, you know, and that nobody but Christ is going to be the only ones who can save us. You know, this woman humbled herself completely. You know, the Pharisees never did. So we need to be like this woman, crying and weeping, you know, and recognizing Christ for who he is. So, anyways, love you guys. Have a blessed day.